All right, it is another superb Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Wherever you are joining us from this perfect morning, my name is Julius Kabanda, and I'm greeting you from the Pearl of Africa. But today, we are not staying in Africa. We are taking our plane to an amazing, beautiful, fantastic country all over the world that has blessed us with an amazing leader, a gentleman who has been in the network marketing industry for so many years, but definitely he was able to take up high class levels of investment. Ladies and gentlemen, who is blessed to be with us this morning, and he's going to be giving us amazing nuggets, fantastic understanding on how to invest better, on how to look at the future, and what are some of the amazing assets we are going to be looking at that everybody needs to collect, have them into their trail, and rock with them in this world. Ladies and gentlemen, with pleasure, allow me invite a gentleman that understands that wealth people, rich people, ladies and gentlemen, look for how many things do I have? But wealth people, ladies and gentlemen, look at how they can keep multiplying their money, multiplying their money, multiplying their money. With pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, allow me usher in our chief, our chief guest for today, and he will be also the host of this meeting for today, and I'll be just the co-host for today, so that he could be able to select different people that could help him manage this meeting better. Ladies and gentlemen, with pleasure, allow me hand over the host powers to one of a fantastic leader, a phenomenal leader, all the way from India, none other than Coach Manish. Welcome, sir. And the microphone is yours.
Wow, amazing. That was amazing. Welcome. And thank you so much, Leader Julius, for keeping showing this faith in me and allowing me to share the screen and giving me this opportunity to share with all these lovely people what we need to focus on for the next at least 1 year or coming few years. My name is Manish. I belong to India. That's a beautiful country, and in our India, in our as per our religion, today is the first day of our new year. So you can wish me happy new year, and happy new year to you too. So let us begin the journey, and I will share with you some few insights why we should focus on the acquiring and accumulation of wonderful, most amazing, uh, the best performing digital asset of all decades, that is Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Thank you so much, all of you. So let us begin, and I will share with you some part of some few news also, and you must be, if you are little aware of what is happening around the world, and you may be you may be reading a lot of news. So allow me to share my screen, and let me first begin with some amazing news. So here we are. So first amazing news, we all know Bitcoin is already up 50%, and not even it is up 50% this year. Since the starting of this year, it has already beaten stocks and golds. If you are invested into stock, if you are invested into gold or any other asset, Bitcoin is far better performing than all other different assets, different investments that you can think about, right? And also, he's a CEO of Real Vision, Mr. Raul Paul. He says that he's very bullish on Ethereum. According to him, the next price target for Ethereum is number 2 coin. As you all know, Bitcoin is number 1 cryptocurrency, and Ethereum is just behind it. It is considered to be the number 2 coin. And if you are invested into these two, Ethereum and Bitcoin, this is the golden time, and this can be your best decision of your lifetime. So Ethereum, according to him, Mr. All Paul, he says that it's going from to 2,000 to 3,000 this year, right? And one more thing, one more thing I can share. Bitcoin surprise already surpassed 27,000 for the first time since June 2022. This is amazing news. Another news, billionaire Tim Draper. He's a billionaire Tim Draper, almost 100% sure. He's almost 100% sure that Bitcoin will reach 250,000 before the end of 2024. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? But according to him, and he's a billionaire. He's not a common man. He's a billionaire, and he's 100% sure that Bitcoin is going to reach at least 250,000 in price at the end of 2024. So that is his prediction. Another person, maybe some of you know, Mike Novogratz. He's a CEO of Digital Galaxy, and he says, I believe it is the time to buy Bitcoin as the price is growing due to the banking crisis in the US. And we all are hearing many shocking news that most of the banks in US, the big banks in US, are collapsing, and people are losing faith in banking sector. People are losing faith because they don't feel secured to deposit their money into the banks, because nobody knows which bank is going to close next, and we can lose all our savings. So what people are doing these days are they are investing into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin, because it is a number one cryptocurrency and the most reliable also. So he is the CEO of Digital Galaxy, and he says that people are losing faith due to banking crisis in the US, and Bitcoin is a safe asset. So all the people are talking about Bitcoin. Bitcoin already broke 28,000 for the first time this year. We all know. And this is another shocking news after the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, that is a big bank in US. Almost 186 banks are found to have similar vulnerabilities as Silicon Valley Bank. So nobody knows what is the uncertainty of this of the current economy around the world, and you may be hearing many shocking news in the coming days. And the best part we can take from this, best learning we can take from this is people are investing into Bitcoin more and more than any digital asset. If you can see this chart, you may be thinking this is a cryptocurrency, any currency chart, maybe it is regarding Luna or some other cryptocurrency, but this is not a cryptocurrency price chart. This is not a chart of any shit coin with 500,000 in liquidity. This is the US bank price chart, US bank asset chart, and it is already 80% down. 65 billion in asset. So these are some shocking news. And billionaire Tim Draper, he's a billionaire Tim Draper, he says that Bitcoin will shatter 250,000 in. So these are some good news, and Bitcoin is already performing best among all the different forms of investment. You can compare it with Nasdaq, you can compare it with gold, you can compare it with SAP, S&P, and Euro also. So all other figures, you can say how many percent they have grown in the last year, and including oil and silver, which has gone into minus, which has gone into negative, and the best performing asset that we all see is above 72%, that is Bitcoin. So if you are an investor, if you want to invest your hard-earned money into any form of asset, maybe you love gold, you love to keep your money inside bank and put a and open an account in mutual funds, or maybe you invest in some properties or some shares or some big companies, the most best performing asset that we all see is Bitcoin. So that gives us enough reason. Bitcoin has made the large weekly gain since April 2019. That is 26.25% in just 7 days. Can you imagine? If a person has started investing in see just last week, the 7 days before, and his asset is has already grown 26% in value. Maybe he's a newcomer, he don't know anything about it. He just took a decision and invested into Bitcoin last week only, and he's enjoying his profits right now. And Chat GPT, as you know, maybe all of you, and this is the latest version of Chat GPT 4, which has just released, and it has the highest accuracy among all the other versions of Chat GPT. That is Chat GPT 4, and it has predicted. Nobody can deny this. This is a highly accurate prediction that Bitcoin will hit 50,000 in this year only, 2023. That is a report. So this is the best time to invest in cryptocurrency. And seeing this, most of the top billionaires and top investors around, even if they have never they were never thought about investing into cryptocurrency. Even the believers in cryptocurrency, they have started downloading all the crypto apps, all the different crypto apps. They have started investing, they have started learning about cryptocurrency, and these are the top crypto apps that download has risen over 15% following the recent banking collapse. So this is another news, important news, that people are now taking interest in cryptocurrency. People are now taking interest in cryptocurrency, and they are researching. They are looking for ways to invest in cryptocurrency. They are searching on internet how to invest safely in cryptocurrency, and which is the best cryptocurrency, which is the best exchange, which is the best application, which is the best robot to use, and how to trade in cryptocurrency. So this opens a vast opportunity, a huge opportunity for all of us in Royalq, because most of the people right now are looking for ways to earn money from crypto. They want to invest in crypto, but they don't know where to start. And we in Royalq, we have this perfect opportunity that we can help them start their crypto journey, and we can help them learn how to trade using this wonderful robot, Royalq. And by doing this, we are helping them also invest in cryptocurrency and gain financial freedom in the coming years, and gain some uh, very good appreciation in their asset, and help them make money. And along the journey, we are also building. So this is the right time. Go go outside, speak to people. If you don't know anyone in your city, in your village, you can use internet, you can use Facebook, social media, and connect with all the people around the world. Also, not only in your country, but some big countries also, like US, like Europe, and many other countries, because people are searching for ways to earn from cryptocurrency, and this is the right time that you can build your team and share the. So this was some quick insights, and now let us begin the topic today. And let me take you to an amazing chart that I love so much, and I love to share also why it is so important that we know where to invest, and why to invest in crypto, and why Bitcoin is the largest performing best performing asset of the last decade. I already shared with you all this. Now let us take reference of this chart, and most important chart. This is the most important chart in the history of cryptocurrency. That shows the journey of Bitcoin from the starting till today. And this amazing chart is known as Bitcoin stock to flow chart. You must understand, if you are into cryptocurrency, if you are into Royalq, if you are invested into Bitcoin, you must understand this chart thoroughly so that you know each and every aspect, and can also share this with your team members, with your prospects, with your family, with your friends, that how important is it today to invest into Bitcoin. So Bitcoin started in the year 2029, 2009. Bitcoin started here 2009, and we are here now in 2023, right? We are here now. And as you can see, every year, every month, the prices may be rising and falling, rising and falling all the time, but you can see there is a clear uptrend. There is a clear uptrend. And if you can calculate this growth from the year it started, when it was started, it was below $1. The price of Bitcoin was just $0.4 in value for the first 3 years, for the first year one to year three. And today we are in Bitcoin, which has approximately value of 28K, right? The Bitcoin is priced at around 28,000 since yesterday. And you can calculate how much this growth has been till, till today. It has been around 6 million% growth. So if you tell someone, if you ask any of your friend, any other person you know, that do you want to invest in an asset which has grown 6 million% in value? So nobody will think about it, nobody will say no. But Bitcoin has been the center of attraction for all the investors around the world. And now, as we hear a lot of news, and we see a lot of banks in around the world are collapsing, this is going to be the number one investment, number one choice of all the investors. And even if you are not an investor, you don't want to put your money inside any bank, you can put your money inside a crypto bank. Maybe you are using Binance or Huobi or any of the exchanges. You can deposit your money in form of USDT in any asset, any exchange in the world. And the best asset to purchase with that money is Bitcoin, because no other coin has given uh, this rate of uh, this rate of this return on investment. This is the highest ROI which has any which has been the best performing asset. So this was the journey of Bitcoin. And the most important thing in this chart, that you can see, we see these blue lines in between. There are 4 of them, and these indicate the halving, the Bitcoin halving event, which happens every 4 years. So first halving happened in 2012. Then after 4 years, the next second halving happened. Again, after 4 years, the next halving happened in 2020. That was 3 years before. And now we are just 1 year before the next halving, that is going to happen in 2024. So just 1 year before the next halving. And why this halving is important? Why this halving is important? This is the most important event in the history of Bitcoin, that after every 4 years we will cut the mining reward of Bitcoin, the way the new coins are generated. And we will we will reduce the halving reward. We will reduce the mining reward of Bitcoin by just half. So this is the way they are controlling the total supply of Bitcoin. And the total supply is just 21 million Bitcoin, 21 billion Bitcoin, that are going to be generated. And almost 19 million are already being generated. 19 million are already being a few years till the total supply will be achieved. And then you can see already Bitcoin prices are rising. A lot of people are investing into Bitcoin. So why they are investing? Because of many reasons. First, I told you because of the limited supply. Because nobody can print more Bitcoin. Nobody can generate more and more of Bitcoin. Just like the banks are issuing a lot of new notes, new currency into the market, and that is causing inflation. So that makes Bitcoin inflation proof. That is inflation proof, a currency which is inflation proof. That will not lose its value. That will not lose its value over the period of time. So the second reason, because of its tremendous growth in value, which we all know it has grown 6 million% in value from the year it started till today. That is just 14 years. So if you invested 14 years before, when the Bitcoin started, or maybe 10 years before, you could have seen almost 5 to 6 million growth in your investment. So no other digital asset come even close to this returns, right? And sorry, why this halving event is so important, and why we are waiting eagerly for the coming halving, the next year 2024, and it is expected around 8 March. Just 1 year is left. 8 March is the next halving date, and it may be happening even before, because the hash rate of Bitcoin has been rising. So what happens due to this halving? We all see that before this halving, Bitcoin touches an all-time high point. This is the all-time high point of Bitcoin, which you can see. This is the price range, and this is the years of time. So the first time Bitcoin touched this all-time high, it was around or more than $10 per Bitcoin. So this was the highest price that Bitcoin reached in the first era, in the first 4 years. And then the Bitcoin halving happened. But before this halving happened, the Bitcoin prices were falling down. So we saw a bearish season before this halving, maybe 1 year before or 2 years before. Then after this halving, we saw that the prices started to move up, and it moved so up that it reached a new all-time high that was above the previous one. It was around $1,000 per Bitcoin, $1,000 or more, right? So this was the effect of halving, the first halving, that we saw a new all-time high after the first halving, which was much higher than all the all-time highs of before. But as usual, before the next halving, after it touched the all-time high, the prices started to drop again, as usual. So the people were waiting for this time for the next halving, which was expected in the year 2016. And as expected, after this halving, the prices again started to rise again. It touched a new all-time high, a new all-time high, and that was around 12 or 13,000 per Bitcoin here. So from the first all-time high to the third all-time high, Bitcoin has been growing tremendously, and this was creating interest in most of the investors, most of the retailers also, most corporates also, most big businessmen. They started taking in, and they started investing into Bitcoin before the next was expected in the year 2020. And as usual, as we saw before the last two halvings, the Bitcoin price started to fall down before the halving happened, and just after the halving, the Bitcoin price started to rise again, and it touched a new all-time high that was 69,000 per Bitcoin. 69,000 per Bitcoin. That is the highest price till date we saw in the Bitcoin, right? So what was the habit and the trend of this market? The trend, if you study this chart carefully, if you have some knowledge and technical analysis, you can do. So we we all know that this halving is so important that it has the power to increase the price of Bitcoin to the next level. It has the power to increase the price of Bitcoin to the next level, and it will create a new all-time high every time this halving happen, right? So it will create a new all-time high, which will be much higher than the all previous all-time highs. So can you see this trend? This is a clear trend. So if this continues in the next halving, if the next halving, that is around 2024, just 1 year after, if this continues, we can already see what happened before the halving. The prices started to fall down, and we saw a bear season in the last year, 2022, right? And from the starting of this year, the prices already started to rise, but it is very slow. It is very, but we can see the trend, and we can see this trend can this news these news that I just shared with you, they are so powerful, so much in favor of Bitcoin prices, that it, we can expect the next, even before the next halving, the prices may touch around 50,000, that I just shared with you in the in pictures, right? So it can touch before the next halving, maybe 30,000 to 50,000. It is expected, but I'm not advising it to all of you, but this can happen very soon. And what happens, what can happen after this halving, that is around the corner. We all know that the Bitcoin prices will start to rise, because this this has been happening after every halving. This has been happening after every halving. And most of the experts in the world, most of the big investors and experts, who have a lot of knowledge and who had been keenly and carefully analyzing this and following this chart, they say that the next all-time high, which is expected maybe 1 year after 2024, after the halving, from 2024 to 2025, most of them are so bullish. They believe that the Bitcoin new all-time high can be more than $1 million per Bitcoin. And some of them even say that it can be $2.5 million per Bitcoin, or even more. So I'm not so much believing into the news and so much believing into these prediction, but what the current market conditions are saying, and what has been happening before and after the previous halving, I'm so much in favor of this fact, this prediction, that the new all-time high will definitely be above previous one, which was 69,000. So it must go above 69,000, and as expected, it should touch this point, which is 1 million Bitcoin, $1 million per Bitcoin. If you can see this, this is the new all-time high, which can be which can be which we can soon be seeing in the coming 1 or 2 years after the next halving, right? So for a person who's a beginner in cryptocurrency, for a newcomer, if you are into Royalq, if you are into cryptocurrency, and if you want to create wealth for you and your family and your future, this is the best time to invest into cryptocurrency. And this is the best coin which you must acquire and accumulate before this halving, because this is the golden opportunity we have been given by God, that we are seeing that Bitcoin touched around 15,000 last year, and it has already increased till 28,000. So this has been the growth of Bitcoin. And if you're not if you are not if you didn't believe in this opportunity before, and if you missed Bitcoin when in the previous eras, this is the perfect time that you should start. This is the perfect time that you should start. And the best thing that you should focus on, the most important thing that you should focus on is to accumulate more and more of Bitcoin, more and more of Bitcoin, because whatever you purchase today, whatever we purchase today, maybe we purchase at the rate of 30,000 per Bitcoin or 28,000 per Bitcoin, and we may think that if I took this decision a few months back, that time the Bitcoin price could have been much less in value. But maybe you think that this price is too expensive for me, or you may think that I missed the opportunity before. But whatever time you start, if you can start today, that is the best time. That Bitcoin is around 28,000 per Bitcoin, and we all know within a few months or maybe within 1 or 2 years, Bitcoin price is going to touch 1 million. 1 million. So you can increase your value of asset, your portfolio, and your investment, and you can grow your asset in so much value that you will be the most lucky person in the world, and you can achieve all your dreams if you start today, because only the action takers are the money makers. If you keep thinking, if you keep waiting for the market to come down a little, then I will purchase maybe 20,000, I will purchase, you are never late. I can tell you this advice, that you are never late. Even if you start today and keep on accumulating Bitcoin for the next 1 year, that will be the most important decision of your life, and that has the power to change your life and your future and your family's future to a great extent. So the most important thing that you should focus today is to accumulate more and more of Bitcoin, because we can see this a clear trend and a clear future that is in front of us, that we need to accumulate more and more of Bitcoin. So what are the different ways to accumulate, how to accumulate? That is also an important thing that we should learn. The first thing, the first way and the easiest way is to buy. Keep on buying whenever you have some extra money. Just go and purchase some Bitcoin and keep on adding it to your portfolio. Buy and hold, don't sell. That is the easiest thing you can do. But this will not increase your quantity of Bitcoin. This will not increase the quantity of Bitcoin. This will only increase the value of Bitcoin, because if you just buy and keep it with you for the coming 1 or 2 years, this will increase in value. We all know. So this can be the easiest thing. The second way, which is the best way to increase the quantity of Bitcoin also, and also increase our portfolio, is to do trading, is by trading into Bitcoin. So trading is far better than holding and buying and keeping it into your fixed account. This can increase your quantity also. So this will only increase in value, but this method is only helping you to increase in value, but this method can help you increase in value also, and the quantity also. Value plus quantity. So do you want to know how you can increase the quantity of Bitcoin without buying more and more, without investing more and more every month, every other day, without increasing your purchasing in Bitcoin? Do you want to know how to increase your quantity of Bitcoin, your asset into your wallet every day? Every day you are going to increase uh, the quantity you have in Bitcoin. So how many of you would like to know? I will just share with you how Royalq can help you. How Royalq can help you increase and accumulate more and more crypto. How many of you want me to share with you this amazing way. I want to see some yes in the chat option so that I can see how many of you are interested and excited to hear this. Are you excited? Are you excited how till now, whatever you have learned? Are you excited? And do you want to know how we can accumulate easily, very easily, and that too in an automated manner? You don't need to spend more time into the market and more time laptops or mobile phone and doing this all the time. You can do it passively. You can do it passively just by clicking a few buttons, and the robot will work for you. You have this wonderful robot that will work for you, and that will help you accumulate more and more of crypto. So let me take you to our Royalq, and you can start taking notes from now if you are not started yet, because these are some calculations that I share every week. Write all the figures, right? You need to write it down. So the current price, as you can see, of Bitcoin is around 28,000, right? So Royalq helps that it gives us three different markets. If you can see here, we have three different markets. First is the USDT market, second is the BTC market, and third is the Ethereum market. We have three different markets in Royalq, but some of us don't know how to use these different markets in different ways. So that is the point that we will focus today. And the purpose of all these three markets in Royalq is the same. They helps us to accumulate the currency we are trading in. So if you are trading in USDT market, it will help you to accumulate more and more of USDT. Your USDT will keep on increasing. And if you want to accumulate your BTC, then you need to trade in BTC, right? And if you want to similar way, and if you want to accumulate more and more of Ethereum, then this market will help you to accumulate and increase the quantity. So how you can trading into USDT? What we are doing, we are trading all the different coins in the USDT pairs. The pair is USDT. That means what you write down after this hyphen, that is USDT. So this can be XYZ coin. You can be trading into any coin, but you are trading with the base currency of USDT. This is the base currency. This is the base currency, right? So if you want to accumulate USDT, you can go into USDT market and you can trade on any coin. That will help you to increase and accumulate more and more of USDT. But we all know one fact that USDT is a stable coin. Do you know this? USDT is a stable coin that is different from BTC or any other coin. This is also a cryptocurrency as the other cryptocurrency, but this is a stable coin. What means by stable coin? Because it will not increase in value even if the market, all the coins are going up. It will not increase. So since last 2 years, I have been seeing it. It has been ranging from 80. Sorry, I should not talk in Indian currency. So it has been ranging near the US dollar price. The US dollar price, it has been ranging around the US dollar price. So that is why it is called stable coin. But we all know BTC is the highest performing coin in the world, which has grown more than 6 million% in the last 14 years. So if your purpose is to earn a daily income, you should go and trade in the USDT market only. To do some trades and you earn some more USDT, then you can withdraw and you can enjoy the money, right? That is your purpose. That can be your purpose, to earn a daily income. But if you also want to accumulate for future, if you don't want to withdraw it, you just want to keep on accumulating till you see the Bitcoin price touches $1 million per Bitcoin, then you are going to sell. If your purpose is clear, if you want to just keep on accumulating more and more of BTC, and you are not going to sell it before it reaches this price in the coming 1 or 2 years. So that is the purpose to trade in this BTC market. And let us go to this BTC market and understand how this market can help us to accumulate more and more of BTC. So here we have 6 different pairs. You can trade on either of them. There is no difference which coin is better, which coin is less performing, because we are not trading it in one shot. We are trading it on cycle. So we are trading on cycle for a long term, maybe 1 or 2 years, right? So it doesn't make any difference whichever coin you may choose. Suppose you choose any of these coins. Suppose I take an example of XRP BTC. So how Royalq will help you to accumulate using this pair or any of these pairs, right? So what Royalq will do, you have to start with some amount of BTC, right? Because just like you start in in USDT market, you must start with some amount of USDT. Maybe you have 500 USDT, maybe you have 1000 USDT or more. So in the same way, you need to have some amount of BTC to start, right? So if you don't have any BTC, you cannot start a trade in this market. So the first step should be, if you have some USDT, with you, go and convert it to BTC. But only convert that amount which you want to use it for this trade, right? So convert your USDT to BTC, and then you have this BTC and you can start this trade, right? So how Royalq will help you? It will go and purchase some amount of XRP every time the XRP price goes down. Every time the XRP goes down, it will go and buy some amount of BTC again and again. So it will help you to acquire more and more of XRP, right? We all know. So how it will help you to accumulate BTC? Because we all know that once the price of XRP starts to rise and it goes above the take profit that you have set in the robot, it will go and sell all the XRP and give you back your BTC. This time in USDT, right? So it will keep on trading this the XRP and give you BTC back. It will not give you the same amount of BTC. It will add profit into it. So suppose you start with $100 of BTC. Suppose you have 100 USDT and you convert it into BTC and you go and trade into XRP or any of these coins. So every time it gives you 5%, you will have $105 worth of BTC. So this will increase your quantity of BTC. You will acquire more and more of coins. You will earn in form of BTC. So this means that you will profit in the form of BTC. The profit you earn, that will be not in form of USDT, that will be in form of BTC only. So this way your BTC is going plus, plus, and plus. I hope you understood this, right? So now let us take an example and what are the different ways to trade and what are the best strategies that we can use if you want to trade in any of these coins. So just for example, I will take suppose LTP, right? This we can take. So let us understand how we can go and create a perfect strategy for ourselves, right? So you can arrive at this page, and now we are going to go into the trade setting here, right? So we all know this one, how we come here, how we reach here. So your trade setting page, and here you need to put the parameters, how you want the robot to work for you and give you the best profit, right? So if you are a newcomer, if you don't know how to set this page, how to set these parameters, and how to give the best strategy to the robot, Royalq is so kind. It is so amazing that it already gives us the best possible strategy in the default setting. So if you don't know how to trade, you don't need to change anything here. Just use this template as it is. This is the perfect template, the perfect strategy that you can use. So you don't need to change anything, because robotic is already filled up all these things when you first open this page, and it is saying that the first buy-in amount, this is the minimum buy-in amount, right? So always remember, keep the first buy at the minimum. No matter how much huge capital are you trading with, keep this to 0.0002, right? So remember this thing, first thing. Keep this position off for the time, for this time, and the margin call limit should be at least 7 or more. It should be not below than 7. You can increase it to 8 or 10 or as much capital as you have, but you should not trade with less margin calls, because we are trading it for the cycle, for the long term, right? So we know that the prices may come down and may go up in the next year many times. So we must prepare for the market drop also. So the minimum call drop you should be 7. The whole position take profit is okay, 1.3, and the profit callback you can take it 0.3, or maybe you can reduce it to 0.1 also, right? It is up to you. Buy and callback is okay, 0.5, or maybe you can reduce it from 0.5 to 0.3, and the distributed take profit allocation is already okay. The sub position callback 0.3, you don't need to change anything here, right? And the mode should be right. This is okay. The only thing you need to focus on is the margin configuration, where you need to allocate your capital and how much capital do you have. So let us go to the second page, that is the margin configuration, and we can see these are the 7 margin calls that we give to the robot. So when you first arrive at this page, this will be a little different, because we know that margin call drop is is into the left side corner, and the multiple buy-in ratio is in the right corner of the page. So in the left corner, these figures will be a little bigger. Maybe you can see this is 3.5, or this is 4.2, or this is 5.3 or something. So this way, the robot advises you to use these bigger figures in the margin call drop. Why it is giving you these figures? Because it wants you to cover at least 47% in the market drop. So if you add up all these figures which you see in the default, it will total up to 47%. Okay, so you can use this as it is also, or the other thing you can do, you can reduce it to this way, as you can see on the screen. What I have done, I have given it a little drop percentage in the first 4 calls, then I have increased in the later calls. Why? Because I want it to work faster, and if I total all these figures, 1%, 1%, 2%, 2%, then 6, and then so on, 6, 2 times 6, and then 12. So if you add up all these figures, you will get a total of 30% drop. So I believe that This is sufficient market call drop because uh, Bitcoin has already fallen more than 50% in the last year, and we don't expect it to fall down so much. But still, if you have some capital, you can, and if you want to be safe, you can cover a drop of 30% to maybe 50% or 40%. It is up to you how much cover you want to, how much market call drop you want to cover, right? So this is up to you. And the second thing that you must focus is the multiple buy-in ratio. This is the most important thing that you should learn and make notes also. And it will decide how much capital do you want to use and the strategy that you want to use. So I will give you three different strategies, three different options, and it is up to you which one do you want to start with. So majorly there are three different strategies. First is the double up strategy. Second is the Fibonacci strategy, and the third one is plus one strategy. So all these strategies are okay, whichever you want to use, but this one is the best strategy. If you use double up strategy, that is the best one. You can say this is better, and plus one is a good strategy. Plus one is good, but this is better. Fibonacci is better than the plus one, but not as best as the double up. And the double up is the best strategy. So whichever you want to choose, that depends on your capital only. How much capital do you want to invest? All right. So I will start with a double up strategy. As you can see on the screen, this is a double up strategy. Why we call it double up? Because every next time we are buying double of, you can say double of the what we bought before. So if your first buy is one time, the first buy was one time, the first margin call will be double of one, that is 2. And the second call will be 4 times, right? And so on. If you want to buy the third call, it will double up to 8. And double of 8 is 16, then 32, and so on. So if you add up all these figures, you can calculate how much capital do you require to start this double up strategy. So what I will do, I will add up all these figures and in front of you, and I will calculate how much capital is required in BTC also, and then in USDT also, and you can take notes also, right? So let us calculator. Let us go to our calculator, and I will share with you. Where is my calculator? Let us go to thing, right? So we have 7 margin calls, and the first margin call is starting from 2, and then every time we are buying double of what we bought before. So 2 plus 4 plus 8, you can just keep on adding, and every time you are purchasing double of what you bought before. So 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 16, then double of 16 is 32, and then 64, and then the 7th call is 1, 2, 8. So these are the 7 calls. You can count it here. Oh, sorry. Let me share again. Okay. So we can count. These are the 7 margin calls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So this is the total. But this is not the complete total because we already purchased the first buy. So we must add 1 in the last, right? So the total is 255 times, right? This is not in amount. This is in times. Times of what? Times of the first buy in amount. So if you remember, if you have been attentive in the meeting, can anybody tell me what was the first buy in amount? What was the first buy in amount? I'm reading your chats. Let us see who's being attentive and taking notes. And what was the first buy in amount in BTC market? So I know most of you have been attentive. And maybe some of you have been listening to me in the previous every week, because every Wednesday I'm here to share with you. So I can see a lot of people are now absolutely right, right? So the first buy is 0.0002. You all are absolutely right. And thank you so much for being so attentive and so much interested in participating also, right? So we must multiply this with the first buy in amount. So what is our first buy? As you all told, 0.0002. So that gives us the amount of BTC that we require. This is not USDT. This is amount of BTC that you must have to start this trade. So first thing you need to do is to go into your exchange and purchase this amount of BTC. So how much money, how much USDT that you must need to purchase this, you can multiply it with the current price. So as we saw the current price, what is the current price? It is around 28,000, right? So what we can do, we can multiply this with the 28 round figure. We can use it as a 28,000. So the actual investment you require, or the capital you require, this is your trading capital in form of USDT. Okay, so this is your USDT. If you have 1428 USDT with you, you can trade in BTC market on any of one coin, right? This is required for one coin only, right? This is your USDT requirement. This is the amount of BTC that you will get if you go and buy with this current price. I hope this is clear now. So if you have 1428 USDT, you can go and use this perfect strategy. Why are calling it perfect? Why it is considered to be the best one? Because you can use a weaker one also if you have little capital, but that will not give you the best result. What I mean by best result, the best result means that the robot will keep on buying and selling at much faster rate, and it will give you profit very frequently. And the best part is the floating loss. The floating loss will be very minimum. So if you don't want to go into a bigger floating loss, if you want your trade should not be stuck at any time in the year, even if the market drops by 30% or 40%, your robot will keep on working, keep on trading and giving you profit every day. So this is the best strategy that helps us to bring the average price closer to the average price closer and closer to the current price. So these two prices will be closer. So that means the floating loss will be minimum. Maybe you can see 1% or 1.5% or maybe 0.5% around. So that will be a minimum floating loss and the best strategy, and the robot will keep on buying and selling at a very fast speed, right? So you will almost every day you will see some profit. So this can help you accumulate more and more of BTC. So this is the amount that you require, but some of you may not have this amount of trading capital, right? Some of you may say that I have just around 500 or 600 or maybe 700 of USDT. Can I trade in BTC market? Yes, you can, but you need to change the strategy. And you can use the second best one, which is Fibonacci strategy. How you can use this strategy? Let us go to again back to our page and let us go in the previous page. And now what we can do, we can increase this by 1 and we can add one more margin call here. So what we can do, we can increase it to 8. So I just increased it to 8 margin calls, because with less capital we can trade more margin calls if we reduce the times of buying we are doing, right? We can increase more margin calls. So let us go to margin configuration now. So we have now 8 margin calls here, right? So what is the second best? The second best strategy Don't forget, the best one is the double up. No other strategy can beat it. But the second best strategy, that is Fibonacci. So Fibonacci says that, what is Fibonacci? If you bought 2 times here and 1 time before, that was the first buy, right? The first buy was 1 time, and the first margin call you bought 2 times. Now add up these two and write down the total here, right? Add up these two and write down the total here. So the second margin call will be not 4 times. Now you are buying 3 times. And what about the third margin call? You can add up the last 2 calls, 2 plus 3, and write down a 5 here. In the same way, add up 3 plus 5 and write down a 8 there. And the fifth margin call, 5 plus 8, that is will be 13, right? I hope you understood this. So this way we can design this strategy, and let us calculate now again how these 8 margin calls will work for us. So the first margin call will be 2, then 3, then 5, then 8. As I explained to you, every time we are buying, what we are doing, we are adding up last 2 times and putting a 5 here. Then we are adding 3 plus 5 and putting a 8 here. So what will come next? 5 plus 8, that is 5 plus 8 is 13, right? Then 13 plus 8 will be 21. Then 21 plus 13 will be 30. And the last margin call will be 34 plus 21, that will be 55. Okay, so these are the 8 margin calls that we just designed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are 8. So you can write it down if you want to take notes. Now, if you want to calculate how much BTC do we require, we have 141 times here, but don't forget to add 1 into it, because that was the first buy. We bought 1 time before we started to buy any margin call. So actual the times the robot is buying of the first buy an amount, that is 142 times. So if we want to know how much BTC do we require, we can multiply this with 0.0002. Why? Because this is the first buy in amount. So the robot will buy 0.0284 BTC. This is the quantity of BTC that you must have. But if you want to know what is the USDT required for this, you can go and multiply it with the current price. So let us multiply this with the current price, that is 28,000. So this will give us the actual amount of USDT required. USDT. Okay. So if you have around 800 USDT with you, you can go and buy this amount of BTC with this current price. So it depends on what is the current price. You will get the amount of BTC. And if you have around 800 USDT, you can start this trade. So this is less as compared to the previous one, because if you use the double up strategy, we required 1,400 something amount of USDT. So this is just half of that, right? We are using half capital. So if someone has 1,400, you can use the double up strategy. If someone has 800, we can use the Fibonacci strategy. I hope this is clear. But what if someone says, I don't even have 800 USDT, I just have 500 or 400. Can I do this trade? Yes, you can. But you need, my dear, you need to compromise a little bit, right? You need to compromise in the power of the strategy, in the potential of the strategy, and you can use the third best one. Which is the third best? Third best, I told you, is called +1. +1. So what is the +1? As the name says, let us go back to our strategy page and come back the previous page. Now what you can do, you can increase this margin call limit to 10, because we can use 10 margin calls now. Okay, so let us go back to our margin configuration, and now we can see we have 10 margin calls here. what the first thing you can do, you can increase these percentage also, or maybe in the first 4 margin calls till here, you can reduce the time, reduce the percentage rate, right? So maybe you can put one time each. You can use one time, then again one time and one time in the first 4 margin call. Why first 4 margin call? Because we want the robot to come out of whole warehouse mode. These 4 margin calls are into whole warehouse mode. And once it goes below and buys the 5th margin call, we are into sub-bin mode. So why sub-bin mode? Because sub-bin mode will help us to sell each call individually. So the robot will sell each call separately without taking the consideration in the previous average price. Every call will be sold out separately, and you can accumulate more if you have a more margin calls, right? So how we can allocate our capital here using the +1 strategy? Because it is very simple. Every time what you are doing, just adding one, just add one. That is why it is called +1. So every time you are buying 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, and so on. So let us go back to the calculator and let us calculate how much capital do we require. The amount of capital that we require is 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. You can add up 10 margin calls here, right? And just keep on adding 1. 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10 plus 11. Do we have 10 margin calls here? Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the previous one was 2 times, right? 2 times. So these are the total number of times these 10 margin calls the robot will buy. But don't forget to add 1, because that was your first buy. And now we have 66 times the robot will buy of our what? Of our first buy in amount. So multiply it with the first buy, and you will get this is the amount of BTC that you require. Just 0.0132. And what is the value of this BTC? If you multiply it with the current price, you will get the USDT required for this trade, right? So just multiply it with the current price, that is 28,000, and now we have less than $400 we require. We just require 370. If you have this amount of USDT, you can trade using the +1 strategy. But if you have around 700 USDT, you can trade with the better one. This is good. But what is the better one? Better one is the Fibonacci. But if you have more than that, you can choose the best one. The best one is called Double Up, but that will require around 1400 USDT for you. So these are the 3 different strategies that you can use. It all depends on your capital, but don't forget, this is the best one. Don't compromise if you have good capital. Suppose you have 1,500 amount of capital. Don't go to the market and trade 5 coins using this strategy. If you have more than 1,500 USDT of capital, don't go and trade more coins using the weaker strategy. The best option should be to use the best strategy and trade on less coins. Because if you choose the weaker strategy, the speed of robot will be reduced. It will run at a slower speed. Why slower speed? Because every time you compromise with the strategy, you are compromising with your floating loss. The floating loss, the percentage of floating loss will increase every time you compromise with your strategy. So this you must understand. If you don't want to see a bigger floating loss, and you don't want to wait for many days to see the profit in your account, you just need to trade less coins and use the best strategy. So what you can do, you can choose either of the first one or the second one. You can choose the double up strategy if you have 1400, or maybe you have more than you can say more than 2000 or 2500 USDT. You can choose one coin with double up and second coin with Fibonacci. Suppose someone says I have 2100 or 2200 USDT. Can I trade using more and more coin? Just go on trade on one coin with this strategy and second coin on Fibonacci. Use this one only if you are very you have a little capital. If you don't have at least 500 or 600 or 700 amount of USDT, don't go for this trade. Don't go for this strategy, because this is the weakest one. If you don't have more than 300 or 400, if you are trading with less than 500 USDT, then only you can use this one. Okay. I hope this is clear. I hope this is clear. And what if someone says, so is it clear for everyone? Let me read your comments in the chat option. And if you have any question, you can ask also. I think I have made everything clear. And I can read your comments also. Someone is asking, what if I want to trade? How do I preset my price, and how do I determine the price to preset? There is no need to have any think about any preset price, because you are not trading for one day or 1 week. You are trading for a full year or maybe a few years. So you can start at the current price only. Don't need to wait for the preset price. But if you have some good technical knowledge, you can go to the TradingView app, you can analyze the chart, then you can do it yourself, right? That will be helpful, but don't think much about it. Just start at the current price, right? You just need to start. So do you have any other questions you can ask, and or we can close the session? If you have any questions, you can ask. And a few more tips I want to give you before I leave. A few more tips, and I will be done. Let me take you to Royalq. So a few more tips what you can do. Suppose you want to trade number one tip. You can write it down. These are important nuggets, you can say. Number one tip is, if you want to trade on Fibonacci or double up strategy, don't you let us not take this double up strategy. If you want to trade in Fibonacci, so I told you you can increase this to 8 times, and you require around 700 USDT. So if someone says I have just 500 USDT, what you can do, you can reduce this 8 to 7. You can reduce this to 7. Sorry. You can reduce this to 7. And maybe if you reduce the last, if you don't use the last margin call, that is the 8th one, you may set this trade using the Fibonacci strategy with a lesser capital, because the last margin call may require you to a bigger capital, right? So this is one tip. Second tip, once you start this trade, always put it on cycle. Always put in on cycle. Don't trade on one shot. You can trade on one shot if you have a little capital. Suppose you have less than 7 margin calls. Suppose you are using less than 7 margin calls. Less than 7 margin calls. Suppose you are using 5 margin calls because of your size of your capital. Maybe you have $300, or maybe you have $150 or $100. You can choose any of this strategy, but you need to reduce the margin call number. Suppose you are using 4 or 5 margin calls, then what you need to do, you need to put this cycle into one shot, right? You can use one shot. because if you use less than 7 margin calls, you cannot expect to cover at least 30% of the market using 4 or 5 margin calls, because that will require more margin calls. So if you are covering less than 30%, my actual advice is to don't go less than 30% of the market cover. If you are using less than 30% because of your lack of capital, use it and trade it on one shot, because you don't want to go into bigger floating loss and keep on waiting for the trade to come out. So this is the second trip. Okay. So if you want to start FVN, already set the margin calls and all the parameters, what you need to do, put this strategy mode, go into this strategy mode and put it to sub-bin mode. Sub-bin. Because why sub-bin? Why not all other three? Because you need to understand the purpose of these three. The whole warehouse is meant for one shot only. So if you are trading from 1 margin calls to 4 margin calls, you can put this into whole warehouse mode, and the robot will trade on the only 4 margin calls. Then it will take the average of these 4 margin calls and then come out of the trade. So if you are trading on more than 4 margin calls, you must use either of these two. But why this one is the best? Because this will not help you to accumulate. And you remember, our purpose is to accumulate. We don't want to withdraw our profit every day or every week. We want to use our capital as well as our profit to inside the trade, and we want to accumulate more and more of BTC. So our purpose is different here. So if you are trading in USDT market, then you can use this one. But if you are trading in BTC market, then this is the best mode, sub-bin mode. Okay. So don't forget to click here on sub-bin mode, and then you can confirm. So this will be the best strategy. If you are using the sub-bin mode, what robot will do, it will use the profit you made in the previous trade into the next trade, and that will bring the average price closer. The average price, this is the average price and this is the current price. So what we need to do to bring these two prices closer and closer to each other, that way we will be successfully reducing this floating loss to minimum. You can say 0.5% to 1.5%. That will help the robot to trade faster. That is why we are learning so much and giving so much time on learning these strategies, because the best strategy will help you to reduce the floating loss. And once you have a very little floating loss, that will help the robot to come out of it very fast. Because we see a lot of fluctuation in the market. Maybe every day we see that the price of the coin, whichever coin you are trading with, can go up to 2% above. So every time it crosses if it crosses the trigger point, it will help the robot to sell faster. And every time it will sell, it will give you profit. Right? So these are some few important tips that you need to learn and remember. So I hope that was helpful. And if you have any questions, I will wait for 1 or 2 minutes, or otherwise we can close. I tried to make this session a little shorter today, because previously, if you have attended my sessions, that were more than 2.5 hours. So I tried my level best to give you full information in a lesser time, so that we should not waste our time too much. And learning is important, as well as implementation is also important. Okay, someone is asking, Mr. Richmond is asking, please can you teach how to do manual replenishment if you want to come out of big floating loss? I don't advise manual replenishment. Never, I don't advise it. Never do it unless you are 100% sure that the market is going smoothly upside. Because you never know what the market may take a turn. When the market can take a turn, because market is not our friend. Suppose you put $1,000 or $5,000 in manual replenishment, and suddenly the market started dropping. All your capital, all your money will be stuck in the trade. So don't use it. Otherwise, you can ask our leader Julius in separate session that he takes, and he can teach you. I won't advise. If you have money, you can open more margin calls and buy the dip. If you are able to buy the dip, you are doing it in the right way, and you can bring your average price closer to the current price. So thank you so much for all of your lovely comments and your time you are giving for learning. I hope this was helpful, and you learned a lot of things. And as you see in the market, what are the current situations, current news in the market about the economy, about the banks, about Bitcoin? The price of Bitcoin has already started to go up. So this is the best time to start, and start today, take action, and start to accumulate more and more Bitcoin using this wonderful robot. Thank you so much. Yes, you can use Ethereum also. Ethereum is also good. These are the top two coins. If you love Ethereum, you can go for Ethereum market, and same way you can use these strategies in Ethereum market also. Okay, it is up to you, but don't go in any other coin. Only the best one is BTC, or the second best you can say is Ethereum. All right, so let us meet in our next session, and thank you so much for listening, and wish you all the best for your future, for your trades, for your business, and let's